Hey guys, back into Way of the Hunter we go today. A little bit of a different kind of hunt. I'm not too sure actually how much hunting I'll get down. It's more of a setup. I'm preparing trophy hunting mule deer in Diamond Drill. And I sort of have a unique way to go about it here. I'm going to be using tripod stands at each location. So there's 4 herds. 1, 2, 3, 4 in Diamond Drill that count for all that fitness bonus. So I'm going to need 8 stands. And basically I'm just going to set them up on the drink zones. And basically kind of end game these mule deer. Going to be aging them and trophy hunting them. And not all in this video, this is sort of a long-term kind of project. But that's sort of what I'm going to be doing in Way of the Hunter, I think. I'll probably be doing this on different maps. Well, I'm still deciding. I'll probably do this here in Nez while I finish up some side missions. I'll do the side missions while I age them a little bit and sort of carry on like that. But the way I'm marking these need zones is a little different. So, if it's their often drink zone... Oh, there's some mule deer coming to drink now. I'm not really hunting them right now. I'm more like scoping it out and setting it up. If we see them, we see them. Diamond Drill, though, is a rough spot for visibility. I was thinking of setting this up on the grasslands to try and recover my mule deer herds out there, but I think we'll go for some big guys over time, hang out in Diamond Drill. Oh, here they come now. Alright, well, before we set up, we might as well scope these guys out. But what I'm doing is I'm going to be setting up the giraffe in a spot where I can see their often zone. And I'm going to be setting up the shorter tripod on their rare zone. And that'll be just, I'll use that as a reminder of which one, which zone is which. Since the developers have not put any way for us to mark them, in the map, I will use my tripods to mark the map. What can you do? We got a whitetail burping over there. Where did mule deer go? I'm gonna go over some news too. I don't think there really is any news. I skimmed the Discord. I'll pluck what I can find, and we'll see what I'm doing with Way of the Hunter on the channel. I'm still undecided. I'll be doing the news for sure. The problem is there isn't really any news. Not much happening. And developers we've had this before where the game goes silent for 3 months. There's been a few little updates, just fixes and things like that. But I've lost track of time now. When was Matariki out? February? I forget now. 3-star. I don't think it's going to be... The problem with Diamond Drill, of course, is there's never anything to shoot. Because nothing's low fit. Really. You're just waiting for everything to grow up. I mean, I could shoot the 2-star if he's old enough, but... Yeah, a couple 2-stars, so these guys aren't super strong. Kind of disappointing herd. Yeah, there's 2s and 3s. He looks like younger too, though, so... I'm gonna see if there's a 2-star that's looking really old, because then he'll be sitting at 60% or something. 50 or so. Oh, the wind's going that way. I might not see him then. Can't even check the wind. Yeah. Well, they might bug out to a spot I can see them better. A good size herd. And a young guy. No, I'm not going to be able to see them. That's okay. There's no big deal. They're going to stop just in here. It's really challenging to hunt in diamond drill, but of course, that's sort of my understanding of when they developed this map, the original map. It was making the private areas, the high fit areas, the more difficult ones to hunt in. So I gotta check what zone this is, and we'll find a spot to set up. And maybe they'll come back. Because if I'm sitting in the chair, then we're pretty much safe. Okay, so this is the off zone down south. If I'm going to... Do I have this marked well enough? Okay. So I'm going to assume they're going to stand around here. Because maybe I will just hunt these guys. I'll sit in the chair. And then see if they come back. While I check on the news. Because the wind will... not be a factor when I'm in the chair. Except if you sit too high, you can actually end up in the branches. I mean, if I'm gonna approach this one, it's always gonna be from the cabin. So I'll put it on top of this hill, maybe. I want a nice clear view. It's still fairly clear. Farther back I go, though, I'm gonna get more stuff in the way. Let me try over here. Now, I'm gonna have this tree. I'm getting a bit too much. Too much in the way here. Well, it might have to do. I should be able to get above that tree, though. Let's see, I put it on 5? The giraffe? There we are. Okay, put that away, thank you. If we get in here... Whoop. How's the view? Not super great because of this tree. But they might not be standing there, right? They could be standing here. They could be standing over here. So either way, I mean, it's a large herd, so I don't have poor visibility here. I don't think there's anything you really do about it. A lot of trees around. Well, I'm going to sit here for a bit. I'll go pull up the Discord. We'll have a peek. I did look earlier. I don't think there's too much there, but I'll do that while I'm waiting. We have some wolves, do we? Sometimes they're behind. I have no idea where they're calling from. Gotta use their eyeballs to see the sound. I still can't see it. Where is it? Okay. Hunter sense is on. Huh. I guess I'm just blind. Oh well. No biggie. When you're on elevation, right, they can be up here or down here and through, the bubble be through the ground. Might have appeared on the screen. Alright, well, I'll give it a pause and I'll see what there is, because I think I don't think there's been anything since the last video where I was talking about their photo contest, the Easter one. Maybe we can look at some pictures, but I think I'd probably wait until they started finding like the finalist or something like that. Anyways, let's take a look. So I guess there's something interesting here. I'm not really too sure I'm gonna pop anything up on the screen though. So they've been quiet since end of March, really. So I don't know, maybe they went on a vacation or something. But the main community manager, Michael, March 26th was the last time he was kind of communicating. So then, well, I don't know when this video is popping up, but about April 4th or something, he's back, I guess. And not really any kind of update, but they're talking about the scoring system, and it's sort of interesting. Because the scoring system way of Hunter is kind of weird. Here, maybe I will throw something up on the screen. Okay, so here's a kind of a snippet of a conversation. Yesterday would have been April, well, as of this recording, would have been April 4th. So he kind of came back, and this is only the one side of the conversation, because it's just Michael. I'm not going to post other people's stuff in here. Michael gets to be picked on because, well, it's kind of his job to convey information. So anyways, they're talking about the scoring system, and the scoring system to me has always been weird in Way of the Hunter. But I think the conversation was about, what is it, Boone and Crockett, or B and he just calls it B and C. But the conversation reads from bottom to top, right? So there's a picture of the scoring system. I'm not actually sure if that's B and C or not. But anyways, just kind of looking at some examples of the Red Deer one there. And looks like they really looked at all the major ones and created a custom system. Yeah, so I guess they're asking why didn't they use like other scoring systems that are already out there, right? So we choose not to adapt any specific ones such as B and C for reasons, or for a few reasons, but one major one was that none of them cover all the animals as they are region specific. So we couldn't use them for every map, and the alternative of having a different system for every map would create a lot of extra work and would also surely be confusing for many players. So here's my question with that. Maybe somebody in the comments can chime in, because the Hunter Classic uses B and C scoring system, and they have all sorts of different animals. So here's my thing, because I don't know. I played the Classic a lot, but I never researched the scoring system too much. They have a wide range of animals in all sorts of different regions. How did they make it work then? If anybody could tell me in the comments, that would be good. Because Way of the Hunter's not doing it because it's going to create confusion for the player, and then it also doesn't cover all the species. But we have a hunting game that does use that system. I just don't know what they're doing with those same issues, because the classic system isn't confusing. So what are they using it if B and C doesn't cover the animal in classic? So that's one of my questions. Do they just make their own then? Oh, here's some animals coming up here. So anyways, I would think, I know hunting games shouldn't really copy each other, but I mean, hunting game's sort of a universal thing. There's going to be things that are the same. I mean, whatever the Hunter Classic has done to use a real scoring system and have it cover all the animals and not be confusing, Way of the Hunter should definitely look at that then. Because I'm not a huge fan, never been a huge fan. I don't think a lot of people are a huge fan of the way that the scoring system kind of worked out, because they made their own. They just took pieces of the scoring systems and then created their own custom one, and then summarized it out of a score of 500, which is kind of arbitrary. And so we get weird scoring and things like that. But anyways, that's the first conversation I found. That I find that interesting, because there is a hunting game that seems to have tackled that very issue, and it's not confusing to players. I never, well, they have the cross-species score thing, the CSS in the Hunter Classic, but it's not even that confusing. You can figure out the purpose of it. Maybe we'll take this guy here, kind of in the open. He's looking pretty gray, 2-star. So yeah, so that kind of doesn't really, that bugs me a little bit, just because we have a game that's done that, a nice old successful hunting game. So I don't like the reasoning really as to why they didn't do it. Oh yeah, he's gonna stand right there. I got him looking at me, and her looking at me. But as far as I know, that they, I should be invisible as far as tripod goes. Look at this. She's entered in spec mode. Oh, and now it's forgotten. Well, that's all that is. I need this guy to step out again. He parked exactly where I can't have him. He's just a 2-star mature. So yeah, so that's mean. When you got a you know, a game developer in a genre where there's other games, and one of the games have done it, and then you can't, I don't know, can't do it or something like that for, I don't know. It seems weird if like another older game has conquered that problem and then your newer game has not. Kind of confuses me a little bit. All right, we'll jump ahead here a second because these guys are just lounging in the sun. Who's this one down here? 3-star. Oh, we'll let him get bigger. I can't really tell how gray they are. Some are in the shade. You got a young one right beside him. Can't get a read on him though. He's probably just 1-star young. So we'll do the hunter patience thing. Okay, he's on the move. I guess they're not at the zone yet. Yeah, they went right where I didn't want them to go. So he's in there. Where is their zone? Oh no, it's over to the right more. Oh, let me squeak a shot in here. I didn't check the range. Probably about 100. He's gonna... I think he just fell down right there. Kind of disappeared on me. Got the 270 RMAD today. Whatever happened to that, by the way? I haven't heard anything on that. There's changing the ammo type in the rifles. And what happened to buckshot? And the different ammo types for the... I guess, you know, I guess the year's only a third of the way done. But I don't know when the roadmap year started, really. I don't know. Anyways, go check out this. that was something that was brought up just a month or two after. Like, I think it was on the very first roadmap that they wanted to do ammo changes and stuff like that, which I assumed was primarily for shotguns. All we got is a bunch of birdshot shotguns. Nice solid hit. Double lung. What's he sitting? 50% right on the mark. Oh. Too bad he wasn't 50% even. Technically, he's high fit. But that's actually good to get rid of him in diamond drill, even though it's maybe not much of a factor. I'm going to go to the rare zone and set up my shorter chair. Just in case I need to use it if they're over there. Next time. Now, here we go. I'll just, it'll be underneath 150 meters to the water. I'll place a little short. Tripod here, right in the middle of the road. And let's test that spot out. So this is just a rare zone. They can flip easy though, right? So I kind of want both of them set up. That's about where I had it marked, so they'll be somewhere along here. This is a better zone. I'd actually prefer to flip the zone and have this there often. Easier to get to, closer to the cabin, better visibility. Okay. Now, here's a question. Does the map indicate which chair it is? No, it just says elevated stand. Okay, I was hoping I could tell from the map which one was which, but not a big deal. I could just... I don't know, can you visually tell? Probably. Right? Without having them right beside each other? You know, like, oh, wait. There's an actual tower there. I didn't even think of that. That's fine though. Well, let's see what this one looks like then. Does it see that spot as well? Or what is this one looking at? Well, there's a feed zone right here. I mean, this tower would be good for that. Up we go, river. Oh, horrible. Okay. Yeah, you can't use this for that zone. So this has to be for that feed zone then. Yeah, you've got nothing, but this is built here just for that feed zone, I guess. I wonder who it is. It's gonna be whitetail or mule deer. And then I can just add this stand to the hunting rotation if I go to a feed time. I don't think I will use the feed though, because I'd just be using drink and then rest usually. But I suppose maybe they'd be here early morning, right? Who is this? Oh, that's whitetail, okay. And it's rare too, okay. Alright, so that is round 1 and news information 1. I guess it's news, not really too much game update news, but just information. So the next one is going to be this one. This is going to be a little challenging to set this up, because the two drink zones are right beside each other, but there's this hill thing here, and they're not quick to get to. Yeah, it's a half a kilometer jog over there, and I really don't know what sort of position to set up with them. I've hunted them here before. They're usually at this one. I'm not too sure what to do about that one down there, because it's usually lower, I think. So I'm gonna have to analyze this. They're gonna be at one of these locations. Problem is the wind is just horrible today for any kind of diamond drill approach, since the fast travels are all on the west side of it. Oh, actually, no, I guess it's changed. This is, no, the wind just adjusted to be south instead of east. Just for the fast travel. Well, not a big deal, though. So, here I don't know what to do. Do you stay down here and put a stand here? Or do you go up here? Put a stand up there? Because if they're not there, and you go up here, to get to the next spot, I don't think it's very convenient to do. But there's no visibility here. I'm not sure I want to use the location up there. Makes for some interesting shooting though, with a steep elevation. Is there a spot I can use here? Okay, they're there, so this is good. They're gonna smell me soon, though. I think that's probably whitetail. Yeah, they're gonna spook. Oh, there's a whitetail. Wait. Oh, we got them hanging out in the one spot. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a scan. These guys just smelt me. That's okay. They're all young. I didn't see any monster go by. Just gonna see if there's anything popping up here. They're all 3 stars. Middle of the road stuff. Who's that guy back there? Another 3-star. Okay, I'm not seeing anything super. So if I spook them, I'm fine with it. I know where I have to set the stand. So I don't think I will use that elevated spot. I think I'll come out here. I should be able to make it to the stand here. There they all go. Look at all the deer. Some of them don't care. Oh, now they do. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll set up the chair. Like, this is perfect right here. 5. Oh, I didn't check what zone it is. I'm going to assume it's off since they were there. But I'll check it after. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that up. And then we're going to sit in the chair. And hope somebody comes back. I mean, that was 3 herds. I gotta listen to this whitetail. They're just in there somewhere. Listening to him burp the whole time. Yeah, he's just really laying into it. Yeah, I'll hang out here. We'll check for whatever little tidbits of news I can find there. While I do the same thing. Wait and see if they come back. Oh, and here's the last thing that Michael updated. So he came back just for that day, it looks like. Yeah, well, I wonder if he'll be... You know, this video is going to be a couple days delayed. Oh no, because it's going to go weekend. Okay, this is all we're going to get from Michael since the last week of March. What I was talking about before than this. This is kind of interesting too. Way the Hunter's focused on hunting more so than being a nature simulation. And pups and cubs simply aren't a factor when it comes to hunting gameplay. That's a major reason why they aren't in there during the game. So I didn't actually look at the conversation, but you can sort of infer that someone brought up why aren't there, you know, pups and fawns and things like that in the game. Now, I'm really not trying to pick on Michael, but that's it's the nature simulation part. I think for a hunting game these days, you got to think outside the box, which they have done with the persistent animals that grow and have fitness, right? The fitness of the animals, the herd management aspect of the game. Was thinking outside the box, doing something other hunting games have not done. But herd management, their fitness with the animals growing and having a little genetic pool and everything like that, that is a bit of a nature simulation. So they do have it in, like, they've incorporated a little bit of what he's calling nature simulation into the game. And guess what? People really like it. So I think a hunting game these days, to set yourself apart from, you know, Call of the Wild, which just spawns in animals and, you know, they don't age or anything like that. I think hunting games should really go into the nature simulation sort of thing. Have a fully functional ecosystem. Well, not fully functional, but, you know. And you have fawns, and you have small animals, and you have varying size of animals. I mean, like, I don't know the original question that came there. I just haven't scanned back into it. But it is about, you know, having a nature simulation and small animals in there. I don't know. I don't. More focused on the hunting. But that's fine. That's fine if they want to go that way. But which they already have, right? But they have a piece of that nature simulation in there. But that, going back to what I'm saying there, hunting games should really broaden out and include that stuff in there. I really think they should have done more of a nature simulation. Obviously we're not going to get that. That's I don't think they have the foundations for that anymore. But we can hope that a future hunting game could have something like that, where you have like genetics like Way of the Hunter, And can you imagine seeing the herd that I had out there, and you have a couple fawns in there, and see, we know the player base knows what they want in a hunting game these days, and I can describe it because I don't think I'm very far off. Imagine Nez Perce, okay? Skip trying to add all these different maps. Take Nez Perce, maybe Transylvania. Keep your 2 maps. Keep your 2 maps. But imagine Nez Perce with 4 seasons, right? So 3 days to a season maybe, or something like that. But imagine if you had spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and everything changed with the seasons. And the animals aged in the correct seasons. You know, you'd have the fawns all at the correct time, and you could actually watch the fawn grow up. Which they have a very basic system of that because your young 1-stars are kind of your fawns or whatnot. But you can't really watch them grow or anything like that. Or, I mean, I would have preferred the game do something like that instead of put effort into having really poorly implemented pheasants and ducks. Never mind foxes or anything like that. I mean, if you're going to focus on deer, I think people would be happy, really happy, if they had just had like a few, like the elk, the moose, the deer species, and really flush them out. And then had other animals, maybe not huntable, but just as sort of scenery and things like that. I'm just kind of brainstorming, but I think a lot of people would prefer a game that does that, where you have a really high quality map like this, but have it doing the seasons and having your nature simulation. So when Michael's saying they're focused on the hunting more than nature simulation, I think that's actually the wrong way to go when developing a hunting game in today's gaming market. I don't think it should be fully just hunting anymore. I think it should be nature simulation, business management, open sandbox kind of things. Have the player, you know, own the map, be able to sort of manipulate the map, and make it their own. The business I'm talking about, like the restaurant stuff that they originally started with, and then having, yeah, I really think they should start putting, like, hunting game should put fawns and everything in it and have like a full life cycle and seasons. To me, that just seems obvious. Instead of doing all the different maps like Call of the Wild does or whatever, focus on a couple like super high quality maps. Man, that's just my ramble. I'm basically just wishful thinking right now, because 100% you can do it. Look at the other genres that aren't even hunting. I know, like Microsoft with the Forza Horizon, what, 4? Probably 5 does it too, I don't even know. They got the one map and they run through the seasons. The map all changes and everything like that. So like games can certainly take one map and do the different seasons. I know it's a racing game, and probably with a whole lot more money behind it. Well, no doubt a whole lot more money behind it, but anyways. I 100% think that's what should have happened here. Since they have animals that grow, and like through the years, the map should have had seasons from the beginning, I think, in my opinion. All right, well, that's the ramble I have for those topics. While I'm waiting for the mule deer to come in, there's just not going to be anything exciting. I'm not sure they're going to come back in. Figured they would have turned around by now. This is one question I get, or I've gotten. I think it came up that one video too. Yeah, because I posted my reply on it. Typically when they spook, if you're still within the time zone, they'll come back to it. I'm not sure they are going to, though. There's some kind of weird timer when they spook off and, you know, land on their leader and stay up there. There's some timer taken away that tells them to return. So you've seen it earlier with the first mule deer herd. I spooked them off, they came back. But this is a little later on in the day, so they might not They might be heading off to the rest zone depending on how far it is. We can check the map. Where's the rest zones? Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, darn. Yeah. I spooked them back here, didn't I? Kind of over here. Yeah, they're not coming back to the drink. They have such a far way to travel, they're going to be heading straight there. So, what's probably going on is they're probably over here. Maybe I'm wrong, because there's mule deer there, but that's not them, I don't think. Because there's this guy too. I don't even know where his drink zone is. Okay, I don't know who that is up there. Maybe that's who I spooked? Did they go way up there? I don't know. But if they make a beeline towards that rest zone, they should be probably going across here. I won't see them. Well, I'll give it a little bit more time. There isn't really a monster trophy to get anyways. I'm after trophies now. My goal is to get a good selection of 5-star mule deers. I've got a few. Because it helps to get a nice selection so you can sort of see what the score is at certain fitness levels and stuff like that. And I'm focusing on mule deer because they're sort of my favorite. And they have that antler improvement. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on these days, I think, for a little bit. Okay, well that might actually be all the hunting. I'll get my 1 deer. That's fine though, that's normal hunting, getting 1 deer. But I'm not turning it off yet. I'm going to go check the zone. Maybe we'll see them on the way in. And then I got to set up the chair at the other zone. I don't know if that's them or not. They should be really trying to get to that rest zone up in the hills way north. And cut them off there. But I checked, there's, for those that don't know, so Michael's as far as I know, the lead community manager, and then they have a, what do you call it? Junior community manager? Is that the title they use? I think. So it's Miriam. So I also check what she posts. She's been a little more active. I'm assuming Michael was on vacation or something. But Miriam appears to be running that Easter photo competition, which is cool. But all the posts are typically on that. A couple about bug reports and stuff. But yeah, they're all about the photo contest and being excited about that. I mean, the game's nice, and I get the community contest stuff, but it's a photo contest and a hunting game. But and I know why that's a thing, because if you're low on manpower, basically I think it's probably Miriam and just Miriam. You know, you've got one person do an Easter event. One person who's probably part-time. Okay, so it's the opt-in zone. You're gonna do something which is just like a photo thing, something one person can handle, right? So it's good that there's some excitement around it and everything like that, but it's also sad, like sad from my point of view, that you know, when the game came out, we had like a Halloween event where they put jack-o'-lanterns and stuff in the game. That's like just never gonna happen again, I don't think. You know, like instead, you know, have like Easter eggs in the games. Something like the Hunter Classic, like inject stuff into the game. But that takes multiple people to do, right? Where I think they're at the point where it's like we need a community event and we have one person who's not a programmer. They don't think she's a programmer. Here, do an event. So you're gonna get stuff where it's just like take pictures and here's a T-shirt. The merch is probably pretty cool though. I wouldn't mind NRG merch, but I don't think I'm gonna do much photos. Oh, here we go. Here they come back. So I don't know if they're going to the drink zone or they're off to the rest. They've got to be heading to the rest zone. They're way late. Like, they're never going to make it to the rest zone in time. We got a 2-star old guy right there. Let's just line up on him. And get another 50%er. He's clipping. Yeah, he's definitely looking old. Perfect. I went for the upper heart. That's my safe shot these days. So no trophies in here. But I'll keep watching these. Now they're really not going to get to their rest zone. Am I getting run over? There's somebody stuck. I heard footsteps really close. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We'll pick him up. See if I did hit the top of the heart. Let's see how I did. Look at that. Oh, I didn't hit. I hit the mid. Look at that. Actually, a better heart shot than I thought I was going to do. I was picturing up here. Right up here. So why did I hit low? Too close? Bullet was still raising up, maybe? I was zeroed at 100? Yeah, 46 meters. I was zeroed at 100. That makes sense. The bullet was still on its climb. Shouldn't have... I guess 46 meters... Shouldn't it have reached its climb by then? And been higher? 46 meters. The bullet comes out. It doesn't act like artillery. It increases height really fast. And then... well, my understanding anyways. So shouldn't it have reached its height by that point? And actually been above where I was aiming? Oh, there's another question for the comment section. Should the bullet still be climbing at this point, 46 meters out? Or should it have already climbed up and then been sailing down to the 100-meter point? I don't know. I'm no ballistics expert. That's just my understanding of it. 54%. Another 50% guy hanging out in diamond drill. Get out of here. The lowest of the high fit. So the last thing I have to do before we turn it off, 40 minutes. We're at 43 minutes. Is check this and set up a chair. Maybe I can set up a chair right up here. Or should I do it on this side? Because if they're not there, I should, yeah, we're gonna do it on this side. Walk over here. Because I don't want to, yeah. Because you'll be able to tell if they're here or not from way back here. And if they're not here, then we know they're going to be down there. So you're going to want to be over on this side. So walk over here, set up our little chair. Actually, we should check to see if this zone flipped. Because that shot, well, they weren't on the zone, though, so it should not apply the hunting pressure, from my understanding of how it works. That is whitetail rare. Where is, often. Okay, so it stayed often. Alright, let's go set up the rare drink chair. I don't know about this spot. Maybe you do want to be on the other side. Well, I guess I'll leave it here for now. And I'll make that determination once they're actually hanging out at the zone. This isn't horrible. You just got these two trees. I don't even know if that's where the zone is. Okay, I'll hold off. I'll keep the chair here. And I'll make a better call when I actually see them at the zone, if I should move it or not. Because I imagine if I keep this set up for long enough, I'll probably end up flipping the zones multiple times. That's my guess. So... Alright, well that's it for now. Oh, another thing for the comment section. Let me know if I'm being too hard on the game. I don't know if I'm being like unfair or too hard on it. I feel like I'm too negative on it. I should be more positive on the game, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of hard after you've been doing so many videos on it for so long. And, well, here, I'll end on a positive note. The game is sitting in a better spot than it's ever been. Because they have been working away, fixing it, and doing all sorts of stuff. Like with the tree hitboxes and... actually, I can't think of everything now. But they've been definitely doing all the little fixes and getting it in better shape, so... so it is sitting in a good spot. It was really rough when it came out, and it is in a much better place now. So there is a positive thing. Alright, well, I think I'm going to turn it off now. So thanks very much for watching, guys. And sorry I don't do a whole lot of Way of the Hunter just at the moment. We'll see what the future holds. I'm going to keep doing the news ones. At least check in once a week. I'll try to do twice a week. But anyways, thanks for watching. Happy hunting. Take care. See you later.